On Genshin Impact, we have the whales, who gets what they want no matter the cost.
We have now burned through another $300.
On the other hand, we have the free-to-play, who provides truckload of salt every banner. But there is another, who are on the middle ground with their dogma of being cost-effective in every way possible. And they are called the dolphins. Before we start, I would like to say thank you for watching my video. And if you like my content, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. Back to the video. Gacha and loot boxes have always been a hot topic of debate, whether it is a form of gambling or not. As a matter of fact, several government organizations have already took legal actions to regulate said gacha and loot boxes. One such popular incident is when the senior executive of Electronic Arts, EA, called the loot boxes
surprise mechanics,
which, ironically, no surprise, were taken negatively by a lot of people from the gaming community. An absolute verdict on gacha and loot boxes is still up in the air. But one fact we cannot deny is that players are spending real money on it. And you can differentiate them based on the money they spend. We have the whales, who spend a lot, and I mean a lot. We have the free-to-play, who spend not a single cent. But our topic today is about the dolphins, who spend while getting the most value out of their money. So, what is the guaranteed method to get the most value out of your money? Well, that is to buy the in-game currency at a discounted price, which, as far as I'm aware, can be done in two ways, and that is 1. By purchasing the Blessing of the Welkin Moon and Genostic Hymn, and 2. Through the use of VPN. For this discussion, we are going to allot 42 days for saving Primogems, because that is the projected amount of time before a new patch comes out. This is according to MiHoYo themselves from their previous developer Q&A, and this remains true based from the previous patches. Therefore, unless something important happen, this won't subject to change. Let us discuss the Blessing of the Welkin Moon, which costs $5 for 30 days. It will give you, upon purchase, 300 Genesis crystals, which can be converted to 300 Primogems and 90 Primogems per day for its duration. In total, within 42 days, you will have 3,780 Primogems plus another 600 Genesis crystals from purchasing the blessing twice. This is simpler of the two because there's just a single requirement to get the Primogems. You only need to log in to claim the rewards, which technically makes it a login reward. However, take note that if you miss a day to log in, you will lose the Primogems for that day. To further clarify, it means that if you purchase the Blessing of the Welkin Moon one time at April 1, you will have rewards for 30 days. Therefore, until April 30, failing to log in the next day, April 2, will result to not receiving the reward for that day. But it does not mean the time limit of the reward will move to March 1. It will still remain at April 30, which means that you have effectively lost 90 Primogems of your supposed to be 2,700 Primogems for the 30 days of rewards. Also, the time limit to claim your reward for that day is based on the reset time of your server where you purchased the Blessing of the Welkin Moon. The next one is the paid battle pass or Genostic Hymn, whatever you want to call it, that costs $10. Unlike the previous one which gives Primogems straight up, the paid battle pass is more diversified in value. It will provide 1,440 Primogems worth of wishes, which are 5 Acquaint Fates and 4 Intertwined Fate. And upon reaching level 50, it will reward you with additional 680 Primogems. In terms of Primogems, the value for money of the paid battle pass is considerably lower in comparison to the previous one. However, its true value lies in the materials or any item needed that you will definitely use to upgrade a character and weapons. I'm talking about, in terms of books of your choice, both silver and gold, which are in total of 35 and 10 pieces respectively, approximately 3 million worth of Mora, 385 pieces of Mystic Enhancement Ores, experience cards that consist of 27 blue cards and 162 purple cards. And finally, 10 pieces of fragile resin that is worth 500 Primogems if you buy it once a day, because for some reason it costs more when you buy more.
Definitely not stonks.
Another huge value it will provide is the weapons you can get at level 30. The paid battle pass contains, in my opinion, some of the best weapons you can currently get in the game. Even though all of the weapons are 4-star, they all have the crit rate percentage substat, which is very beneficial if you want to maximize the DPS of your character. The best among the 4-star weapons are the Serpent Spine, Deathmatch, and Solar Pearl, for the reason that their weapon skill gave raw 20 attack percentage bonus at minimum. Not only that, it is simple to activate the said skill, so do not let the 4-star rating fool you. It's better than most of the craftable 5-star weapons that are near impossible to craft because the prototype weapons have a very low drop percentage. It might as well it does not exist. I mean, the last prototype I got was on my AR-20, and I'm already AR-55. Of course, that is assuming you can level up the paid battle pass up to level 50. However, do not worry, because it is easier than it looks. In order to complete the battle pass, you just have to accomplish the daily mission every day and the weekly missions. To further illustrate, accomplishing all the daily mission will give 645 experience. Doing that for 7 days will give a total of 4,515 experience. And for the weekly missions, completing it all will give a total of 7,020 experience. As a side note, the missions that require resin to get the rewards like the bosses, domain challenges, ley lines, and trance domains can still be completed without taking the reward and still count to the weekly mission. That means even if you ran out of resin, you can still finish the weekly missions. However, in order to re-challenge the ley lines, you will need the day to reset. Meanwhile, you can just re-challenge the domains by simply exiting it after finishing it and then re-entering it. And for the bosses, you will need a few minutes before it respawns. In total, the daily and weekly missions will amount to 11,535, which is over the 10,000 weekly experience limit. Therefore, it is very possible to level up the battle pass to max within 42 days or 6 weeks. And that is still excluding the current battle pass period mission, which does not count towards the 10,000 weekly XP limit. A little recommendation for the battle pass: do not buy the battle pass with the plus 10 levels because it is simply not worth it. For $10 more, we'll only get additional 10 levels of battle pass, which can be farmed relatively easy, 5 pieces of fragile resins, and a seasonal name card. So unless you really want that name card, it makes more sense to use the $10 to buy Genesis crystals directly. Last but not the least is buying Genesis crystals with the use of a VPN. If you're not aware, the prices of Genesis crystal actually differs from each country. This is due to the different rates of currency of their respective country and general pricing. For example, the 6,480 Genesis crystal costs 110 euros, which is, at the time of this recording, $130.78 when converted to USD. That is almost $31 of price difference by simply changing the currency. So, in order to access the USD prices, using a VPN, change your IP location to any country in the US. And then you will have to purchase the Genesis crystal through the MiHoYo top-up center on your browser. Do not use the top-up in Genshin Impact game app, because the currency would revert to your original one. However, be warned that this method lies on the gray area and still a debate whether this breaks the rules and regulations of MiHoYo or not. There's still no concrete rule that says this is not allowed, therefore it is basically a loophole. People on Reddit claims that this method works and was able to purchase the said in-game currency without getting banned. So before we move on, I will inform you that I will not be including this on the final tally, because its current situation is uncertain, and I will warn you again to use this method at your own risk. Moving on. In total, by purchasing the paid battle pass and the blessing of the Welkin Moon, we got 5,780 Primogems for $15. And that is 385 Primogems per dollar. If we compare it to the Primogems in the shop, the nearest one is the highest tier that costs $100. That will amount to 81 Primogems per dollar. That is not even close. You can get more than 4 times the value for your money. Of course, that is given that you will play Genshin Impact for 42 days or at least log in each day, and put an effort on leveling up the battle pass to level 50, which you are likely to do since you are spending on the game because you like playing it. right? If not, then why? Why spend something on you do not like, including the renewable sources of Primogems and rewards from the events and quests that is all free, which was computed by the Reddit user Ursula Grote. Ursula Grote, I'm sorry for butchering your name. And so far it is accurate. I will leave the links for the actual Reddit post in the description. It will amount to 10,060 worth of Primogems. Adding the 5,780 Primogems will equal to 15,840 worth of Primogems. That is 99 chances of roll. That means at minimum you will get at least one 5-star character. If you're lucky in the 50-50, you can get the character featured in the first 90 rolls. And if not, you can still buy $200 of Primogems, which is worth 81 rolls. Adding the leftover 9 rolls, you will have another 5-star, which should be the featured character because of the PT mechanic of the banners. Thus, assuming you have 0 Primogems, instead of spending $450 for 180 rolls to certainly get the featured character, by using the method we discussed, you will only need to spend a total of $215. Remember, playing as a dolphin means getting more out of your money. But this doesn't mean you're not allowed to buy the Genesis crystals directly from the shop.
I'm on my